Why play Viego Jungle? Well, he is a brilliant duelist. He scales well into the mid and late game, he can solo carry entire games with his resets, and he's great at both split pushing and team fighting. However, he's significantly weaker until he has his first item, and his clear speed is quite slow for a jungler. Viego's passive is after an enemy champions die within 3 seconds of being damaged by him, they become a wraith. He can then attack the wraith to possess them and become that champion for a small amount of time. In doing so, he restores a small chunk of health and gains access to their non-ultimate abilities for 10 seconds. During this time, his ultimate becomes a free cast of his own ultimate, and he gains movement speed towards enemy champions. Viego's Q firstly has a passive where his attacks deal additional current health damage. His second passive makes any attack after damaging a champion with an ability hit twice and restore a chunk of health. The active on the ability causes Viego to stab forwards, dealing damage. Viego's W is a charged ability which slows him a small amount while charging. Upon release, he dashes forward and throws a skill shot forward which deals damage and stuns the first enemy hit. And the longer the ability was charged for, the longer the champion hit is stunned. Viego's E creates an area, and while he's inside, he gains camouflage, movement speed, and attack speed. If this ability is used against terrain, it quickly creeps around the entire terrain, giving him a large area to operate in. Viego's ultimate causes him to get rid of any champions he's currently possessing and teleports him a short distance in a direction. Upon arrival, he attacks the champion with the lowest percentage health, slowing them and dealing execute damage. Other enemies nearby are knocked back and also take a chunk of damage. For combos, start with E if needed, however be careful as this can give you away. Follow this up with a charged W into your double auto attack, Q into double auto attack, and then ult into an attack again for a massive amount of burst damage. For matchups, Viego is amazing against tanky junglers with the amount of health damage he does. However, he can struggle against carry junglers who will outscale him as the game goes on. For runes, take this, he procs Conqueror incredibly easily. For build order, start Green Monster and Pot into tier 2 boots, a Bork and a Divine Sunderer. Follow this up with a Death Dance and a more as needed before finishing a build with any of these. For skill order, start Q, then W, then E before maxing Q, then E, then W, taking ult whenever you can. For summoner spells, take Flash and Smite. Starting the game, you usually want to start on your bot side buff before doing a full jungle clear. Starting bot side will give you the best pull available, and this route will give you a quick level 4, which means you'll be as strong as possible for when Scuttle Crab spawns. After taking Scuttle Crab, you have two options. Firstly, this is a good time to go back and get a couple of items before starting your second jungle clear. This will give you your fastest level 6 possible and your 1 item power spike even faster. However, with your slower jungle clear, this does mean you may not be influencing the map quite as much as your opponent, which leads on to your second option of you can look for a gank. When looking to gank early game, you want to consider the 3 main points of what CC does my team bring, what escapes does my opponent have, and where is lane push to. When ganking, you want to use your E as late as possible as to not give up that you're there early. From here, a dash stun from camouflage can be devastating before following up with the massive amount of damage you bring. Entering the mid game, you're getting significantly stronger and want to be skirmishing. Make sure to be at every objective early to secure vision for your team. Other than that, keep farming hard and looking for picks. Entering late game team fights, you want to play the line somewhere between a bruiser and an assassin. If you're able to use your camouflage to flank onto a team fight, jump on a carry, stun them and blow them up, this will give you a soul to start your resets and is a very good way to start every fight. Otherwise, with your bruiser build, you can play the frontline bruiser, and then simply wait for your opportunity to ultimate something near dead, and then claim their soul so you can start resetting through the team fight.